Hi there, I'm Kira and this is your weekly intuitive tarot reading from March 2nd through the 8th. So thanks for being with me again today. It's lovely to see you all. Alright, so for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm just going to draw 3 cards to have a look at the energy and situations that will be surrounding this week. So it's the first week of March 2015. Okay, what have we got here? Okay, so let's, first card we're drawing is the 7 of Cups, followed by the Wheel of Fortune, and lastly we've got the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so let's just have a bit of a look at these cards. First of all, the first thing I like to pay attention to is what sort of colours are dominating in the card, and there's a lot of yellow. So we've got each of the cups, of course, is a brilliant yellow. And we've got a lot of yellow here in the Wheel of Fortune, and also look at all these wonderful pentacles. And you know, for me, yellow is your connection to your real soul or yourself, you know, your sense of knowing. So there's a lot of strength in this reading around you really knowing what's right for yourself and trusting in that. You might also notice we've got a figure here which is in black, and you remember black is sort of the unconscious or the unknown. So as I look at this first card, which is sort of the first part of the week, Monday, Tuesday, give or take, the energy is very much going to be focused around you being drawn to situations whereby you're going to feel maybe a sense that there's lots of options on the table around a particular situation or scenario, and you're going to feel a little bit like, I'm not too sure. You know, maybe they're all really great options, and you're thinking, gosh, which way do I go? And particularly with the Cup cards, remember we're talking about your emotionals, how you're feeling about particular situations. And here in this card, you know, you're seeing you're being offered all sorts of options, and some of them include, you know, golds and jewelry, and you know, here we've got a tower, so, you know, stability and strength and power. But you know, we've got, you know, a bit of a snake showing up over there, which could be wisdom and insight, but it also could mean there's something sort of unexpected coming. So particularly when I look at this card, I think, okay, the important thing to pay attention to is that when this card appears in a reading, it's like there are many options on the table, and they all could be really wonderful options, but exactly which is the right way to go, or what sits well with your inner self, or what sits well with your values and beliefs, your life purpose, where you're at, is perhaps a little bit unclear at the moment. It also could be the way you're looking at the situation, that maybe you're focused a little bit on things that maybe aren't quite true, or a bit of an illusion about what's happening, or maybe you're stuck in a bit of a fantasy or a dream as to what, you know, a particular path might go. And so what this card's reminding you is that when you make these decisions, really think about what is real in your life at the moment. What are the true facts, you know? And if you're having if you've got a situation where there's lots of options in play, it really is reminding you it's a good idea to look at the pros and cons of each. You know, really look at it a little bit about your emotional attachment to each possible outcome, and what is that, and what does that mean, and where's that coming from, what's driving that, and what's the reality of what's really true for you. It also may, you know, this is, so, you know, it can also be identified as a bit of a wish card, you know, which means that, you know, some really great things are coming, but it's reminding you too that, you know, sometimes what you wish for and then what you get are not maybe necessarily what you really wanted. It's like, you know, sort of like the old saying, be careful of what you wish for. So it could be you wish for something and what you get is perfect, and it really does transform your life. But it also might be that the consequences of an action that you make may turn out to be perhaps an outcome that maybe you didn't necessarily want in its full entity, particularly as the Wheel of Fortune has also come up. So that is also reminding us a little bit about that. When we put certain actions in play, consequences basically form, you know, where there's consequences to every action. And when life comes into play, there's also always these unknown variables, and sometimes how things manifest or fully form are outside perhaps the way we might have first thought they would happen. And that's okay. It's just being aware of that and aware of your emotional attachment. So basically what I think this card's wanting really to say, be aware of your emotional attachment to any particular outcome, because life is always going to throw a bit of a spin, or there's unknown variables or unknown forces at play which may change things. So it's sort of go with the flow, be open to, yes, have your hopes and dreams, because of course dreams is where we get our wonderful capacity for inspiration. And so that's really important. I think dreams are important. And if we don't have hope and we don't have dreams, we tend to be quite stagnant. So it's like embrace those, value those, understand how your emotional attachment to those, and in particular, if you have any specific outcome. It's like knowing that, yes, put your hopes and dreams into play, but also know that how things manifest may be slightly different than what you first saw. And that could be a really good thing, because sometimes how we see how something will pan out or eventuate can be quite narrow-minded, because it's based upon our current set of knowledge and experience, or our previous set of experience, and we really can't see how something really could play out. And that could be a great thing for our lives. So as we move into the middle of the week, this energy of the Wheel of Fortune around that, be aware of how the forces of the universe are interplaying with our lives, or how things outside our control interact with our lives, how that can bring about really wonderful things. So this is a very, very dynamic week about decision making, putting things in action, and understanding about the flow of life, and really about that how that force in our life, that openness to change, can really bring about amazing things. As the week moves on, we're going to move, sort of into the latter part of the week. This is sort of, I don't know, could be Friday, could be Saturday, Sunday. It really depends on your situation as to how early the energy of this Eight of Pentacles comes into play. But the Eight of Pentacles, for those of you who've done looked at my YouTubes before, remember, is very much about hard work. It's about working hard, about being dedicated, being motivated, but particularly in the area of the material world. So, this card may show up if you've realized through some of these changes early in the week, or some of these realizations, that maybe you're going to engage in a new skill. You might be thinking about changing jobs or changing careers. Could be some changes in your financial situation. It could just be changes in your circumstances around how you're approaching your work, or approaching the way you actually earn money. It's a very positive card for making commitments to these new changes, or to ensuring that you really have the capacity to put your best foot forward, or your best effort forward, to know that which you know, and know that which maybe you need to brush up on. So, that wisdom and insight into perhaps where you need to expand on your skills, further education or study, or something of that nature. But, when you see this card, ask yourself questions like, what could I learn, or what could I create to sort of improve my circumstances or situation? What can I do to impact on where things are, particularly if things are a bit tough at the moment. It's like this card's reminding you of thinking about, what can I do differently? Where can I, directly impact the situation? Particularly when the Wheel of Life's in play, Wheel of Fortune, it's like, perhaps life is throwing you a bit of a curveball, and this card's reminding you that you have skills and abilities, you have experiences, you have wisdom, you have knowledge, and all of that you can bring to the table and have influence on moving things forward, or moving things to a place that maybe is a bit different than where you've been at, particularly if where you've been at has been quite difficult. So, as I look at this whole reading, it's going to definitely, as I said, be a week where our emotions and our choices around change, around emotions, are going to be engaged. We're going to have outside influences at play. Perhaps we don't see the full picture of certain situations. So if you have multiple options, really do that due diligence, look at the pros and cons, be aware of your emotional attachment to any outcomes. Realize that sometimes you need to just trust in and have faith in yourself and in your in the universe, or your spirit, or your inner connection, however you see that, and know that you also have skills and abilities that you bring to the table, and you always have the capacity to add more, grow more, change more, to influence your finances, your stability, your work in that respect. So I wish you a fantastic week. Thank you again for joining me on my channel. If you haven't, please subscribe. Please like the video if you found this useful. Please share my videos, and catch me on Facebook. I'd love to get any messages from you. You can find me on my Facebook page at Kira Woods Tarot. You could also send me a Twitter at Kira Woods Tarot, and my website is www.kirawoods.com, and I provide private one-on-one readings, so please go check that out and check out my specials for the month. Thanks very much. Have a wonderful day.